Stop telling yourself nonsense like, she's just a naturally friendly, bubbly person. She's just a social butterfly. Or she is only doing this to try and make me jealous because she likes me so much. Let's kill that delusion right now. A woman who actually respects you, values your presence, and views you as a high value man will go completely out of her way to protect your public image and your feelings. She will never actively humiliate you in public or private. When you sit there meekly and tolerate her aggressively chasing validation and attention from other guys right in your face, you are sending a clear signal to her, to those other men, and to everyone else in the room that you have absolutely zero self worth. Think about the catastrophic lessons of history so you don't repeat them in your own life. The great Roman general Mark Antony completely destroyed his entire military reputation, lost his political power, and ruined his legendary empire because he allowed himself to become hopelessly obsessed with Cleopatra. He willingly tolerated public humiliation, looked the other way when she flaunted her charms to others, and repeatedly sacrificed his masculine power just to stay in her good graces. Where did that path lead him? It led him straight to absolute unmitigated ruin. Do not be Mark Antony. Do not willingly hand over your dignity, your reputation, and your sanity on the foolish, desperate hope that she will suddenly change her behavior and realize what a nice guy you are. A woman who flirts with other men in front of you is not confused about her feelings, nor is she playing a harmless romantic game. She is actively broadcasting a hierarchy of attraction, and she is showing you that you are nothing more than an afterthought to her. She is treating you like a passive audience member to her attraction for other people, and that is a position no self-respecting man should ever occupy for a single second. The absolute best, most powerful response to this kind of toxic disrespect is never a loud, emotional argument, a bitter confrontation, or a jealous tantrum. Falling into a jealous rage is a massive trap because it instantly telegraphs to her that she has total control over your emotional state and that you feel threatened by your competition. Instead, your weapon of choice must be instant, silent, and total removal. You do not need to give a long speech, you do not need to demand an explanation, and you definitely do not need to wait around for her to finish her conversation. You simply detach, stand up, and walk away from the situation entirely. Silence is the absolute loudest, most devastating boundary a man can ever set because it proves that your presence is a privilege that can be permanently revoked the exact second respect leaves the room. If you walk away and she doesn't even bother to check on you, chase after you, or apologize for her actions, then you have your final, definitive answer. The mask has slipped, the truth is out, and you have saved yourself from wasting another single ounce of your life on someone who never wanted you in the first place. 6. She never supports your goals or growth. Let's talk about the absolute foundation of what makes a real relationship work, because this goes way deeper than just casual dating. A woman who actually looks at you and sees a genuine long-term future will naturally, almost automatically, invest her emotional energy into your personal vision. She becomes your absolute biggest ally in life, feeding raw, positive energy into your ambitions, lifting you up when you are tired, and deeply respecting the heavy grind, the late nights, and the sacrifices it takes for you to achieve your goals. But if you look at the woman you are chasing and realize that she constantly mocks your big dreams, dismisses your career goals as unrealistic fantasies, or shows a complete, ice-cold indifference to the passions that drive you out of bed every morning, you need to wake up right now. She does not see you as a leader. She does not view you as a high-value partner, and she has already decided that your future isn't worth her time or her respect. Your personal mission, your career, and your self-development form the absolute foundation of your life as a man. Any single person you allow into your inner circle who does not actively support, protect, and encourage that mission is not just a neutral bystander. They are a direct, toxic liability to your success. The great Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius left us an incredible piece of wisdom when he said to waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be, but to simply go out and be one. If you are actively working every single day to build a great life, to upgrade your financial situation, to build your body in the gym, and to sharpen your mind, why on earth would you willingly anchor your ship to someone who genuinely does not care if you succeed or fail? When a woman drains your energy with her negativity or indifference, she is actively pulling you away from the very purpose that defines you. Think about the legendary power of loyalty through the lens of history, like the unstoppable armies of Alexander the Great. His men did not just follow him into absolute chaos, brutal climates, and terrifying battles across the known world because they had to. They followed him because they believed entirely, with every fiber of their being, in his grand vision of conquest. That is what true loyalty looks like. Now, look back at your own life. If a woman cannot even bring herself to offer basic, enthusiastic verbal support for your goals while you are in the building phase, what makes you think she will ever stand firmly by your side when things get genuinely difficult, chaotic, or stressful? If she cannot handle the dust of your small beginnings, she has no right to enjoy the fruits of your future victories. The harsh reality of the situation is something you cannot afford to ignore for another second. You have to realize that you have absolute zero control over whether she believes in your dreams, and you cannot force her to care about your business, your career, or your passions. But you possess total, undeniable, 100% control over who gets a front row seat to your life. You get to decide who deserves your time, your attention, and your love. Stop settling for low value people who do nothing but throw cold water on your ambitions and drain your inner fire. If a woman is not actively pouring fuel on your fire, she is suffocating the flame. Recognize her indifference as the ultimate sign of disinterest. Remove her from your inner circle and start walking exclusively with the people who actively want to see you win. 7. She shows zero physical or emotional warmth. Let's get completely real about the physical and emotional chemistry between men and women, because genuine human attraction is not some invisible mystery. It is entirely palpable, raw, and undeniable when it exists. When a woman genuinely wants you, you will feel it in every single interaction you have with her. Her entire body language naturally opens up whenever you walk into the room. Her vocal tone softens into something warm and inviting, and she will actively, effortlessly find subtle excuses to seek out your physical proximity. She will lean in close when you speak, blush against your arm, or lock eyes with you across a crowded space. But when she is emotionally and physically ice cold toward you, the contrast is absolute. If she actively flinches or pulls away from your casual touch, positions her body away from yours, gives you stiff, guarded expressions, and keeps an invisible, impenetrable wall between you at all times, you need to stop making excuses. She is not just having a bad day or taking things slow. She is completely, totally checked out of the dynamic. The fatal mistake that millions of desperate men make every single day is falling into the trap of thinking that attraction operates like a business negotiation. They tell themselves that if they just try a little harder, buy her nicer gifts, take her to more expensive dinners, or simply wait around long enough, her frozen heart will eventually melt and turn to passion. Let's shatter that illusion with a massive dose of reality right now. It will never happen. Emotional and physical warmth cannot be bought, negotiated, bargained for, or forced through sheer persistence. Look back at the entire history of human civilization. The intense, unyielding warmth, desire, and passion of women have literally launched massive armadas and started brutal, decade-long wars. Just think of the legendary Helen of Troy, whose affection moved kings and empires into absolute chaos. That kind of raw, magnetic energy is a force of nature, and it is completely impossible to hide or fake if it actually exists in her heart. If a woman is treating you like a distant acquaintance, a boring coworker, or a complete stranger on the street, She isn't confused about her feelings, and she isn't playing hard to get. She is emotionally detached from you. The brilliant Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius provided the exact blueprint for handling this scenario when he noted that you have absolute power over your own mind, not over external events, and that the very second you truly realize this, you will find your ultimate strength. Apply that timeless Stoic wisdom to your dating life right this second. You cannot force her to feel a spark. You cannot manipulate her into being affectionate, and you cannot control her cold behavior. But you have total control over your own response to her ice. The true tragedy of your situation is not actually the fact that she doesn't care about you. The tragedy is that you continue to willingly stay in a place where care, warmth, and mutual desire clearly do not exist. Your emotional suffering, your late night anxiety, and your broken pride do not come from her cold shoulder. They come entirely from your own stubborn refusal to accept her rejection for what it is. Stop convincing yourself that if you just hold on a little longer, her ice will magically transform into a blazing fire. If a woman does not naturally offer you her warmth, she is sending a definitive signal that she is not the one for you. Pack up your dignity, step out of the cold, and stop begging for scraps of attention from someone who treats you like a ghost. Choose self respect. Let's tie everything together and bring this entire reality check right home to where it belongs. When you step back and look at the full picture with absolute, unapologetic honesty, the truth becomes glaringly obvious. Avoidance of your physical presence, a complete and total disrespect for your time, freezing you out with cold, minimal responses, showing absolutely zero initiative to contact you, openly flirting with other men right in front of your face, completely ignoring your life goals, and withholding basic physical and emotional warmth. These are not deep, complex psychological riddles that you need to spend your days trying to decode. They are not mixed signals, they are not games, and they are definitely not invitations for you to try harder. They are bright red, flashing stop signs. They are clear, definitive, stone cold signals telling you to drop your phone, turn around, and stop wasting your masculine energy on someone who has already crossed you out of her life. The real underlying issue here was never her rejection of you. Rejection is simply a natural part of the human experience, and it happens to every single man on this earth at some point. The true, deep seated problem is your own stubborn, desperate refusal to look that rejection dead in the eye and accept it for exactly what it is. You would rather live in a comfortable, exhausting fantasy world of what ifs than face the temporary sting of reality. The great Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius left us a powerful, life altering reminder when he wrote that you could leave life right now, and that you should let that exact thought determine what you do, say, and think every single day. Think about how deeply urgent that makes your current situation. Your life on this planet is entirely too short, too fragile, and too incredibly valuable to spend even a single second auditing, chasing, or begging a woman who has already made it abundantly clear that she does not want you. Every single minute you waste running after someone who refuses to see your worth is a minute that you have actively stolen from your true life purpose, a minute stolen from your own self development, and a minute stolen from the high value women out there who would actually recognize, appreciate, and fiercely value your presence. So now you are standing at a major crossroads, and you have to look yourself in the mirror and make the final, ultimate choice. Are you going to keep willingly lowering your standards, damaging your reputation, and sacrificing your pride just for a few temporary, pity filled scraps of attention? Or are you finally going to step up into your true masculine power, draw an ironclad line in the sand, and calmly walk away the absolute fraction of a second that respect leaves the room? True strength, true confidence, and true masculinity are never found in successfully winning over a woman who treats you like an afterthought. True, unbreakable strength is found exclusively in choosing yourself, protecting your own value, and refusing to tolerate bad treatment from anybody. Smash that subscribe button right now to join a community of men who refuse to settle. Lock these brutal but necessary lessons deeply into your mind and start operating every single day with an absolute, non negotiable level of self respect. Once you master the art of walking away from where you are not valued, no rejection on this earth can ever shake your core or break your spirit. Start backing yourself up. Stand completely firm in your power and protect your personal dignity fiercely.